Nicola Connolly. I'm a consultant clinical psychologist and I'm clinical lead for Looked After Children in Buckinghamshire. And I'm here to tell you a little bit about what we offer in CAMHS. Now, for those of you who may not know, CAMHS stands for Child and Adolescent Mental Health Services. And we're a service in Buckinghamshire for all children and young people who may be experiencing mental health difficulties, such as depression or eating disorders, or who may be experiencing difficulties with their general emotional well-being. They might have sleep difficulties, concentration difficulties, or just generally low self-esteem. Now, in the last 5 years, we have changed our threshold in CAMHS, and any parent or foster carer can refer a child to CAMHS. Young people from the age of 14 can also phone up CAMHS and ask to be self-referred.
I'm Anne Groves, and together with my husband Phil, we are foster carers with Bucks. We've been really fortunate to have children with us who have quite a high level of therapeutic need. And the great thing about fostering with Bucks is that we get pretty much instant access to CAMHS support, who have a dedicated looked after children set up. It's really important to understand the therapeutic needs of these children for us to look after them to the best that we can. They need a lot of support and a lot of care, and it is slightly different in the way that you might be parenting your own children, but it makes an enormous difference to their lives. We've seen children transformed from being with us from when they came into the care system and they've moved on to their long-term placements. I've attended a really excellent course on mentalisation, which was run by CAMHS, which was really accessible and really helpful in understanding what it is that these children are experiencing and their behaviours, not to look at their behaviours at face value, but to see what's really going on for this child, and then how to respond in a way that really impacts them. And it does. It makes a huge impact on their lives. For example, a child that we had who was 6 when he came into us and came into care at that age, really quite traumatised by his experiences up until then. And his brain, although he was 6, his brain function was very often of a baby. And he was walking, talking, but needed the attention that you would give to a baby, needed that care and the way that you respond to a baby, not to a 6-year-old child. I spent a lot of the first few months of the time with him on my knee, clinging to me like a baby, just rocking him like that, like you would a baby who was in distress. And the calming that gave him was immense, the change in his behaviour, because CAMHS gave us the confidence to do that. I thought, this is what this child needs, but how ridiculous doing this to a 6-year-old. But through the training that we were given, it helped us really understand that this is what this child needed, and it helped him. It helped his brain to grow and the pathways to go, and he calmed and was able to regulate his emotions and become the wonderful little boy that he is now. Because we foster with Bucks, we have access to the in-house training on trauma. We have support groups which the CAMHS team who've looked after children attend. We have the Wednesday drop-ins where you can just come in or phone and you have access to a CAMHS therapist. And also the work that the CAMHS team do individually with the children and individually with us as carers if you need more.
I mean, fostering is really important. As a clinical psychologist, I've seen a lot of children and young people who are looked after who really believe it's their fault that they were removed from their birth parents' care. As a foster carer, you're not just giving the child a home, you're really making a difference to their lives. You are teaching children about their feelings, you're helping them in relationships, and you're really changing how they view themselves. And I just can't emphasise enough how important your role is?
Looking after these children is it's very rewarding and it's wonderful, but it's hard, and it will impact on you and on your relationship. You'll pick up the trauma that these children bring from their previous lives, and being able to talk through with CAMHS how that is and how that impacts you, because it's hard to talk to your friends sometimes or even your family to really understand what's going on. So having sessions that are readily available to me and to my husband from the therapists at CAMHS has been really invaluable in keeping us going and in continuing to care for these children, to really empower these children and to help them move on in their lives.